So can I talk about writing for a moment as I get into quick play? 7th Curse, Katak, all perks, Kyrie. Huh, this feels familiar, but hey, we're gonna cast this ritual immediately and keep going on. But yeah, let's talk about writing for this video, because this video, as I get into writing, you know, and I'm not disappointed, and I know, and there are a lot of, you know, from amateur to professional, we do have a lot of good writers. I'm wondering if I should do dexterity bricks, or, well, I mean, if there's Chainsaw, I'm only always building it to strength. And then we have both Seconds Light and then Takashi-san, so pretty par for the course. Well, pretty good, I think, in my opinion, but we'll see. But regardless, and most people do it for fun, so, you know, that is what it is. But for those who aren't doing it for fun, and then I look over at what they've written, it's not great. Again, this is not the majority. Oh my goodness, nothing but maybe boss fights. Akamanto, well, I mean, they're all avoidable except for Akamanto, but we're gonna find out where we're going, where we're going from here. But I mean, there are more than a few that are, you know, not doing so great. But I mean, maybe that's just me, because people like what's being put out. But, you know, standard stuff, if you're writing things without plot, let's just say, then I guess it's fine. And those I am willing to let pass. But those with plot, again, this ranges from both amateur to professional, and it is not the majority. But there is certainly a lot of writing that I don't think should really pass the whatever standards that we've set for today. So it's again, it's not great, but I mean, what else can we do, right? I think some of it is that people have the resources, and then they, you know, maybe take one writing lesson or class, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. But that's not how you do it. So, and granted, well, actually, experience does matter, but if it's the wrong type of experience, then let's just say making your character a wish fulfillment character isn't gonna fly, no matter what you do. And yet again, there's always an audience for those that, you know, I personally deem not quite up to snuff, where there's enough of an audience that wants it. On the other hand, and this also goes over borders as well, doesn't matter what nationality you are, I've seen a good and bad of any English that is, or anything that is translated into English, or just starts off as English, but you know what, I'm actually going to take his mask and take the stamina hit. Yeah, I'm gonna take the stamina hit. I should have probably gotten another brick, but I think this is gonna be fine. But yeah, and you know, character. Well, wish fulfillment is something specific to a certain genre of writing, mainly isekai or second chances. Let's just say it outright here. But I mean, when you are writing wish, and this is all stream of conscious from, I guess I read something recently that was not, I mean, it wasn't bad, it was just, we have enough in the stock market, let's just say, of writing, of, not exactly light novels either, because this also applies to manga and anime where it does apply, because a lot of anime coming out is from light novels, let's just say it outright, or, you know, manga they originally started as manga and or light novels. But I mean, I guess that's true for a lot. I don't know if I want to say majority. I'll leave that to the experts. I wonder if I should get a light source now. Yeah, as I say that, I realized how much I needed a light source now. So with 7th Curse, actually I could go for, I can't get a steak knife because I don't have dog shop. What do I do? You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to go to the tree, get 2 funds, hopefully not get bad curses. That's kind of bad. That's also kind of bad. I mean, well, it doesn't stack, but the proc is already, I mean, we're getting 2 paranoids, I guess. If we're looking at any 2 curses, it could have been a lot worse. But if I'm gonna get bricks here, I might as well grab cigarettes, and I didn't grab any more bricks. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna grab more bricks. But, yeah, it applies to anything, but light novels. If we're talking light novels in particular, yeah, you can break the rules of writing. There doesn't need to be a save the cat moment, or there doesn't need to always be, you know, if you're writing if it depends on the genre you're writing, right? If you're writing slice of life, there is an overarching plot, but you don't need plot. You don't need to proceed the plot every episode. As I almost die because I don't know why I decided to just go all out. Race is a bad action, by the way. I really shouldn't say that, but sarcastically. But let's nah. It's because my stamina's at full, my reason's at full, so I don't want to, you know what, we're gonna treat for the last piece of stamina. Well, that sucks, but it's what I've chosen. And we'll take 2 Doom for 2 stamina here, as I get out and pop them in my mouth, these painkillers. But, yeah, it applies. You don't need an overarching plot for your light novel if it's a slice of life, or if it's a second chance and you want to get revenge on characters, then you don't well, some people might say you want to at least try to give some character to the characters that are going to be a main part of your plot, as they're getting revenge on pretty much jabronis here and there, but you should probably try it. And, you know, I've read a few here and there, and some of them, you know, at least go farther than a lot of amateur writing. That said, however, do I want to do this? Let's do this first. I want to trade reason for stamina, reason for stamina, reason for stamina. There we go. And then do this. I was going to throw this anyway, but if we get a sewing kit, that would be nice. But moving on. Well, again, this applies to whatever I'm talking about, and I'm being vague because I don't want to, not because I don't want to take responsibility in the things that I seem like I'm trash talking, but I'm not. But it's more for advice for people moving forward, or at least something that I think is warranted for advice. Also, I didn't mean to do that. I thought I didn't discard 2. I am a bit going on a bit of a rant, so I'm getting, yeah, this is not great. Who? Can I do this? No, I would need to have smoked cigarettes. So, I mean, it's a 70% chance. 70% into. No, that's not worth it. Let's run. Oh, that's right. We can't run. We're in attack. Well, me throwing that brick was not great, and then running shoes would have been really bad. I wonder if this applies on this turn. We're gonna find out by throwing it right now, because I'm going to throw it anyway, I can't get out. Okay, well that does happen immediately. So interesting. Usually things in World of Horror don't occur immediately. Like if I smoked cigarettes now, the buff wouldn't, or maybe it does next turn, but I swear I've tested it. Either way, do I get, what do I get out? This is 9 damage. No, I don't get out. So I need to take some RNG here, or at least if I'm trying to save resources, I should do, oh, I need 2 attack boosts. It's fine, because that one let me pass, but I really should be doing this. If I leveled up before this, this would also not be RNG, but again, I was a little heated talking about how sometimes characters are just wish fulfillment, and that's not always wrong. I mean, unless you're, well, I guess it depends on the people who are reading, right? That's why I said it doesn't, you know, having an audience that does care at least does still result in a good light novel or manga or an anime or whatever you're making in the artistic world. But, or if you're just doing it for fun, then, I mean, if you are really writing and doing things for fun or drawing for fun, then you can do whatever you want. Really, that's more than that? Well, I thought letting them die was, well, anywho, moving on. I think I can smoke both cigarettes and be fine till the end of the run. That should cover all 3. Well, unless I run into Takashi-san. Let's find out, actually. Do we have the second one? Sex floor? I don't know for sure yet, but I am gonna pop these because I don't know if I'm going to get Investigation 1 encounter, so yeah. And I know I have Bath, but I might as well pop this now while I'm still using bricks, because I didn't get a weapon, that's for sure. Also, we have ramen, so let's actually level up quicker. And let's do this. I'm going to hold out in case I can get a sewing kit, because that'll be worth the doom. But otherwise, thank goodness this doesn't waste any cigarettes going in and out. But regardless, yeah, so and a lot of what I'm talking about is characterization, because I'm much more familiar with characterization and dialogue. You know, the technicalities of writing dialogue being as it is. Ooh, let me just do this as well. yeah, the technicalities of writing dialogue as it is, I have my little pet peeves here and there, but for the most part, I've seen everything is usually on the good spectrum of that as well. Nothing's really wrong. There's he said, she said everywhere, but I think that's maybe just me. Otherwise, oh, that's right, my bricks do 9 damage. But for the most part, it's not wrong, but I've seen a few where the dialogue is, alright, let's just say this. If you're writing dialogue and more than... It's not... Again, you can break rules if you know how to break them, but if there's more than one person talking in a paragraph, probably break it up a bit. It's just really a quality of life thing that helps you out. I don't care if you're, if you're doing narration within the same paragraph that a dialogue happens. That's one of the more weirder pet peeves I have. But, it still makes sense because you're not... Again, I'm not because I'm trying to follow the rule of, hey, every time a new character talks, you can change a paragraph. Again, I've seen people who can break that rule and end up just fine. Me, on the other hand, you know what, we're going to do this, by the way, and break my inventory. But for the most part, it doesn't work out from what I've seen. So, again, you have to really know what you're doing. Most people, and again, I feel most people are, not aware of it when they're doing it. So, if I were to give advice for... At least I want to say 33% of the things I've read, both light novel and amateur writing, by the way. Yeah, it would kind of... do I want Daddy's Girl instead? Yeah, let's take Daddy's Girl instead. I don't believe in my RNG, even though I'll probably be likely passing more event checks than normal, or than Daddy's Girl would give me, but I've already made my decision. Although, if I'm looking at it in hindsight, it would probably been for the best to take discipline, especially considering the lighthouse checks that also can count towards discipline. My intonation went up because I wasn't sure, but I'm gonna go botanist because I don't want to be stuck in a forest at the end of this. Also, I need a weapon as well, so we're gonna do this. And then we're going to do this and hope that we get good... Again, this is a consistent strategy, I think. It's just I've run into bad RNG every now and then, so I just have to eat it in the mouth. But, yeah, if you're... small rules like that are rules for a reason. You can break the rules, but the asterisk to that is the rule is you have to know how to break the rules. So, yeah, that's fine. That's because I think I remember playing around with Kyrie's events. Anywho, moving on. We have the knowledge. No, we don't. It rolled a 10, so it doesn't matter. But if we're moving on to other parts of writing, I guess having a denouement is another thing that I really like more. But some people don't have the time to write a denouement, not because they're lazy, but I think what's happening with a lot of artistic works is that it would ruin kind of the ending, but I don't think it does. There's a whole reason why the term denouement exists. If you're not sure, look it up yourself, but I'll try to explain it in front of you right now. Basically, a denouement is the cooldown after the end of the climax, let's just say. So, in a traditional story, we'll use, like, traditional cookie cutter. I guess in this case it makes sense, but, do I want to throw this? Hold on, let me just brace here for a moment. I still have cigarettes, so we can do this. That way we're only taking 2 stamina. But say the knight saves the princess. The knight fights the evil wizard, and that'll be the climax. And then the knight returns home with the princess, and then they celebrate. Some people might think that's the denouement, but if it's written in a certain way, basically because the knight returns home and then you get a chapter, say, to go, well, thank you for saving the princess, that's not really a denouement, then it is, I guess, the falling action. A denouement would be, I guess, to me, it would be the end of the falling action, where the climax is the peak of the chart, because there's always charts for this. And then it starts going down, and then that's the falling action, the knight returning home. The denouement might be what happens during the celebration, maybe the princess, and maybe it's like, like a fun arc at the end of really only a few pieces of artistic works. But you get what I mean. That's what I mean by saying a denouement. And we don't really have that, and I think a lot of artistic works would actually do better with it. Some of them do try to do it, but it's not... I guess technically they are denouements, right? When certain light novels have side stories after the end of their light novels, but... it would fit more if it related to the main character. Some of the side stories are just about, you know, very far prologues. Well, this brick RNG, by the way. I think I'm gonna die for this, so I need a monument now. But yeah, I think a lot of works would, maybe even some of them could be saved. Not a lot, but 2 or 3 in my mind could be saved with an appropriate denouement. There are certain light novels. There's one really popular light novel right now that has a manga and an anime out. That I think I've talked about it before. I knew this series was gonna pop up eventually into the more general audience. I mean, it's still only known if you're really a fan of light novels, manga, anime, but it's still also branded as not helping out. But I don't have enough funds to... Yeah, if I had 3 funds, I could get cigarettes. I have the Crestfallen Mask as well. No, I should be fine, right? Even if it... Well, we have to rush the mystery. But to end my thought as this run is coming to a close, that certain series, it has a technical denouement, but to me a denouement lasts... I mean... It doesn't need to be an arc full, I'll say that. That's just my personal preference, but you need at least a few chapters. 3 chapters minimum for an appropriate denouement. One other series in particular that I think, it did end, and I should probably, no, because I'm too busy, but when I'm not as busy as I am, and I'm in a more comfortable position in life, I will go back and finish that series, because that series has a kind of denouement, and it's not centered around the main character, which I said was something that I wanted, but it's still an appropriate denouement. It has, there's an after this, you know, you have a thing, not just where everyone's at, because that's kind of, again, I think I would explain that, to me, that's not really a denouement, but it goes more into what happens after the climax, I guess, from what I've read anyway, read online. I haven't read it for myself, so, but it does a lot better than a lot of current works, I guess, we have out here. Please don't give me... Okay, so we can lose this reason, and I think I will equip the Crestfallen Mask. The Lucky Earrings I don't need anymore. I don't need the luck. So, and that's not doing much either. And I probably forgot my second encounter, so it would help me to do this. Yeah, so we don't have Takashi-san, I believe. So it should be okay no matter what, but... Yeah, there are a couple of things. Those were the main 3 things, I guess, in this video that I had to touch on. The use of characters and whether it's wish fulfillment, I didn't really talk about that, but it is something that I don't really like usually. I'm gonna save that just in case. I need more Doom, and then there's the plot. You know, the plot kind of needing to be there, and that's more for a few. I think that's the thing I've had a problem with. That's affected me the least. Yeah, sailors. And then having a denouement is more a picky point, because even without a denouement, most series that I did have a problem with not having came off, ended pretty well, I think, in most people's eyes. So, you know, it is what it is. But I would like to see it more often. And for amateur writers, I guess also talking about dialogue, I can get into more one of those 2 in a later video. But for now, just to kind of at least lay the groundwork, that's what I had a problem with. Also, Autopilot did this run. But if you want to support me, support me. But thank you for watching. To me rant.